Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel and part 3 of Honey. She is one of my coloring pages that you can find in my Etsy shop. There's a link in the description box down below. So today we're going to do the flowers, and probably with any luck we'll get this page done in one video, so we'll see. First thing I'm noticing that I want to fix really quick, if you'll bear with me because I'm such an idiot, is put a little bit of color right here, because this is actually her skin and I missed it, and this is actually skin as well. So I'm going to call that good enough as far as skin goes. And if we have to fix anything else later we will. Okay, so I've pulled out a bunch of yellows and a bunch of greens. So I'm just gonna pick a flower and get started. I think I'm gonna do the flowers first, and then the stems and the leaves and stuff. So, alrighty. So this one I'm going to do with the white outer leaves and the yellow bell. And which pencil do I want to use? Let's start with Canary Yellow. And actually, I'm kind of debating on using a pencil. Hang on while I just while I figure out what I want to do here. Actually, let's just use the gray of the gray Prisma. Kind of outline that bell a little bit. And I think that's the only one I really need to do. Yes. Okay, so I will start with Canary Yellow and we'll just go. I think I want to try and preserve some white on here. It's not quite yellow enough. This is yellowed orange. Let's see what that does. And I'm quite far down there, and debating on, I think I'll zoom in post-production. Nope, scratch that. I'm going to zoom in now. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if my camera is dropping or not. That was kind of weird. I wanted to set the what do you call it? The lock on it, because I noticed that in some previous videos I didn't do that, and the autofocus messed up and my hand was nice in focus, but the actual coloring page wasn't, and we never want that. That's just not good. All right, I'm going to use this burnt ochre inside here. And maybe a little bit of the yellowed orange in there too. And let's see. Of course, you know, I didn't write down what I did the first time, which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you want to just do it fresh. But sometimes I also want to, you know, make sure that I have good colors for you guys. Okay, I think that that's sufficient. So now we're going to bring in some grays. So I think I'll start with 30% cool gray. Now I'm second guessing myself on whether I should have done the greenery first. And that's only because it's easier for me to see what I'm doing when I'm surrounded with color. You know, when I'm working on white on white. That's not my expertise. Although I do feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it. Trying to switch on the videos between tan paper and white paper. Really tempted to do something instead of just straight white, like buff titanium, which is not a Prismacolor. And I think that cream is going to be too... Well, let's just see. What does cream look like? Maybe I'll use cream to kind of blend around the gray, kind of like that. We still leave some sections white, but yeah, I think the camera is slipping. All right, guys, hang on a minute. Let me I know that was probably really annoying. Let me shut the camera off, fix that issue, and then I'll be back. Okay, hopefully I fixed it. I can just imagine like you guys watching yelling at me through the through your screen, going, "The camera's sliding, the camera's sliding." All right, so I'm gonna leave that for now and may go back to it later. For now, we'll just move on to the next flower using Canary Yellow again. And I'm gonna try and leave some white highlighty bits. I think you can probably see them on the grayscale. You may not see them as well on the light grayscale version. So if that's what you're using, just leave yourself some white. All right, Spanish orange, I think. I don't want to use too much of that because I want the center bell to be more orange than yellow. So scratch that plan. This is Deco. Oh, I kind of like that. This is Deco Yellow. It's you know what? I'm going to use a little bit of the Spanish orange and then blend with the Deco Yellow. So hopefully you guys know by now that I don't always know what I'm doing when I'm coloring on here. You're just kind of coming along for the ride with me sometimes because I don't know what I'm going to do until I start doing it sometimes. I watch some other colorists on here, and they color with such confidence, like they know exactly what they're doing and exactly where stuff is going to go. And I have to not laugh, not at them, but at myself, because I'm definitely not like that. Okay, we'll start with Spanish orange. I think you saw that was white that I went ahead and put down. Sometimes that helps me. It acts as a resist, so I don't have to worry so much about remembering to leave all of those white bits, which is nice. Okay, this is yellowed orange. And I'm thinking that probably what I'm going to do is come in at the end with a paint pen of some kind or a gel pen, and use that to put the little white dots, although those are showing up pretty good. But sometimes just knowing that you can just come in and add those at the end is nice. I've been binge watching The Magicians on Netflix. Did I tell you that already? I feel like I'm on here filming so much that I can't keep track of what I've said and what I haven't. So if I told you that already, I apologize. Let's see. I'm gonna try. Let's try. What is this? Light Umber. And if you're wondering about that, I did that because I can put it through my pencil sharpener this way, whereas when it's in a pencil extender, I have a much harder time. So by gluing it to the end of a pencil, these are from IKEA. I can use more of the pencil. Anyway, binge watching The Magicians, and I'm on the last season now, finally. And I actually have the audiobook, and I've actually enjoyed that first. And it's been really good. Although I must admit, I enjoyed the first probably 3 seasons the most. But it's been pretty good. It's fun to be able to binge watch stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but I get very emotionally attached to the characters in my shows when there's, several seasons, or especially in this case when I kind of already, have a relationship with them from the book. It has been kind of fun, though, to see that the actors' portrayals of the characters. I suspect now the next time that I listen to it, I will probably have those actors' faces in my head as I do it, as I listen. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, next. So this one I'm going to do the outer leaves, or outer petals. In white, and the inner section in yellow. So this is cream. Let's do a little bit of gray. I think this is 30, 50. This is not the most thrilling videos, probably, so. But it's got to get done. Something to make these I think that's one of the things that always feels weird about coloring on white paper, is that I never feel like I feel like I've not cheated, but actually I'm going to put some white on here too. I feel like I've you know, missed, like I didn't color a section, which kind of is true sometimes, but it gets better once I color everything. I think I need some more shadow under this one though, so 50%. Let me grab an extender. I want to do the greenery. I'm feeling like I'm like I need it, and it's my, boy, I hope I did. I hope the camera's not falling again. Yeah, I'm gonna do the greenery. We're gonna change directions here real quick. So I'm just gonna do that. So that's Chartreuse. Prussian Green. Let's get some of these, this dark one. So I'm going to put some white down on this dark one to show you what you can do to the dark grayscale. So I put some white on here, and I did it in stripiness. But now when I go to put the green on, that green shows up just fine. Let's do it again. I'll show you again. So if you put white down first on the darkest of the grayscale, and then your color, that color now gets so much brighter. So don't be afraid of the dark. If you just put a little bit of white first, if you want it to be lighter. And now it's a nice, I mean, it is a dark green that I'm putting down there to start with, but now it's, you know, you'll be able to see it a lot better. Okay, so I've also got Limepeel. Let's do some of that. But a little bit of this Prussian Green as well. Okay, I'm going to put my stripes in. Let's do Prussian. And then some Chartreuse. Okay, white. Prussian. Let's do some Limepeel. And there we go, some apple green. This is the Prussian. Okay, this is white. Let's try some apple. Prussian. I'm going to leave this alone. That's fine. Okay, so this is actually light green. So we'll do this with apple. Bring it down here. Let's do Limepeel on this one. I think if you, you know, you pick out like 5. I think I have 5. 1, 2, yeah, 5 greens or 4 greens and a white. You can switch back and forth between all of those at any point. Lighter greens and darker greens. And it doesn't matter which color you're necessarily using because your color palette is all going to be there. So they're all going to blend and mix together, and that's kind of what you want, so that each leaf has a little bit different look. But they're all in the same palette, so they go together. Chartreuse always brightens things up. Almost better than white sometimes, because it doesn't really lighten the color like the white does. It kind of puts a milky white brightness over it, lightness over it. But the Chartreuse is bright in and of itself without milkying things up with white. Does that make sense? Probably not. I don't know. But I like to use Chartreuse a lot in my leaves. Okay. Let's get this one done. So I don't know if you can see how much darker that green is when I don't put any white underneath the grayscale. But if I put white underneath the color, whew, so much brighter, so much better. Sometimes though I want nice and dark because I want those particular leaves to push into the background. Okay, so here's where it gets a little complicated. So my recommendation for you anytime you're doing a grayscale coloring page and you can't quite figure out what's what is always first color the things that you can, that you know that you want to do. And then little by little, it'll start to be easier for you to look at it and go, oh, okay, I see what that is. For example, in my original, That dark bit right there, that's actually hair. This was a leaf though. This was green. I'm just going to do these like they're all leaves. I'll do this one. Let's do apple. So there's this little bit right here that actually would have been blonde hair. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, one last little bit of greenery. And I think Chartreuse. Let's do Chartreuse. And a little bit of white. Let's do this flower. Canary Yellow, Deco Yellow, Spanish Orange, and Yellowed Orange. And a little bit of white, so just a couple of white stripes. And this is like a flipped over edge. Let's go straight for Canary Yellow. Okay, so this is the petal from the flower above it, or in front of it, on top of it, that one. I'm going to just put an edge on this leaf so that I can see better. Leaf, petal, not leaf. So that when I go to do the background, I can see where it goes. Okay, I'm going to use the Deco Yellow to blend that orange, Spanish orange. I'm going to blend that out. At least I hope that's what I used. Some days I'm a little more lost in my thoughts than others, and I forget, so I apologize. Let's add a little bit of that Spanish orange got one more petal that I missed, so. I'll use a little of the yellowed orange. Okay. There's a color that I don't have that I'm thinking I might want. I'm going to pull out pale vermilion as well. We'll see for the inside how that goes. So let's put some yellowed orange in here. And some Deco Yellow, is that what I want? Let's do the Canary Yellow instead. And then the pale vermilion. Okay, let's do a little bit of white right on the top here. Canary Yellow. Yellowed orange. I think a little bit more at the base of these as well. And I like the way the light, light umber looked here. So I'm going to use that for the shadows. And I'll use Deco Yellow to blend. For some reason, this all feels very crumbly to me. Like I'm getting a lot of stuff. Bits, wax bits. Feels like more than normal. It's probably not, but all right, let's do a little bit of that under here too. Okay. might be a little bit much. Let's try blending it with yellow ochre. Let's try and soften that a little bit. Okay, next one. White. Let's I think I need gray. So very lightly put a little bit of this 30% cool gray right under the petal. And then I'll use the cream. And actually, I think then I need to take some yellowed orange. Something subtle. So you can tell that, you know, you can tell where that petal. Sorry. Wow, I'm feeling very, not literally feeling spacey, just feels like I'm kind of, my brain is wandering today. Okay. That was the one of the yellows. That was probably Deco Yellow. This is yellowed orange. So I'm needing a little more definition here. So I'm going to take the 50% cool gray. And give that flower a heavier shadow. And then the light umber. Canary Yellow. All right, let's do 30% cool gray. And some cream. here. This right here, what is that? That is a remnant of a leaf that I decided not to put in the page. So let's take out our white, blend all that. So let's just ignore it. I'm just going to ignore it, and I'll make sure that it's not in the page. This is 50%. Probably should not have put it right there. Eraser, where's my eraser? Oh, it's pretty dirty though. Just lighten that up a little bit. All right. One more. So, Canary Yellow. Oh, let's just go ahead and put some white in. Back to Canary Yellow. Spanish Orange. Put a little bit of Canary Yellow in here. And some pale Vermillion. Okay, let's do yellowed orange. And I'm going to blend with Deco Yellow. Okay, light umber. And I think I'll blend with yellow ochre. Yeah, lots of crumbs. All right, let me zoom back out. So that is what we have for the flowers. And I'm noticing right here that I need to do something here because there's something missing here. So I can either do that as skin or do it as a flower or as a stem. And I think I'm going to do it as skin. So I'm just going to take some peach. And is that enough just to do peach? Peach. And what would go over the top of that? Some chestnut or something? No, you know what? Sienna brown. Do I have sienna brown out? No, but I have burnt ochre, which is just fine. We'll just do a little bit of burnt ochre in here. And that's fine. That looks neater and better. There was a little... Now, if you are the type to like things, you know, kind of more defined and outlined, by all means, take a pencil and do a little bit of light outlining, you know, really softly. I've done that before, and I actually like the look. And sometimes I try and do that on the pages for you guys so that things are a little bit better defined, because I know sometimes with grayscale it can be kind of soft and hard to tell. So sometimes just going through with a pencil ahead of time and giving it a really nice light outline does help. And I'm just touching up some of these areas around. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's do some bees, because the bees are not going to take very long. They're pretty easy. I'll start here since I'm here already. So I'm going to take 10% cool gray. And I'm going to put that right in the I don't know what you call that, right at the base. And that's it on these wings. I want them to be white. And then I'm going to take some white right in the center of the of his body there. And then I think I'm going to use yellow ochre. That looks a little dark. So what other color would I use if I didn't use yellow ochre? Maybe Sunburst Yellow on the next ones. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pull out my eggshell. Somewhere it is. And if I don't do eggshell, maybe I'll do sand. And just use it to fill around the bee. And let's throw some of this orange. It's not orange, it's Sunburst Yellow. Still looks orange to me, but. And then if you want to add more black, you of course absolutely could. You could add a little bit of white where his eyes might be. I'm not sure if I like that or not. Of course, I don't have a black. Why don't I have a black? I have so many pencils. I'm working on too many projects at one time. Okay. So if you're working on one of the lighter grayscale versions, you might definitely want to come in and add some darker black. But I think that's fine. All right, let's see, how do I do this so that I'm going to reset that focus just to make sure that I didn't screw it up. Okay, white down the center, maybe a little bit here on the top of his, I don't even know what it's called. I was very, very afraid of bees for a very long time. And really it was what's the word? Unfounded. It was, I was never fatally, well, obviously not fatally. I was never injured by a bee, so badly that it would cause this great fear. This is the yellow ochre again. I just was so afraid of them. And when my husband and I moved into our house, I really, really wanted to have a garden. I had lived in apartments for, you know, my whole adult life until we bought our house. And this is the 10% cool gray. And I really wanted a garden. So I had to get over my fear of bees. Because if you have flowers, you are going to have bees. And thankfully I did, got over it. I still don't like the really big bumblebees that fly around, and my husband laughs at me because I'm going to put a little bit more gray in. My husband laughs at me because he says they're just big baby Huey bees. They don't hurt you. But sometimes I feel like they, this is going to sound so stupid. Sometimes I feel like they chase me around the garden. So I don't like them. But bees I've come to appreciate and not be afraid of anymore. So now wasps, on the other hand, wasps are little devils, and we have them, and they scare the crap out of me every time one comes up from a plant or something that I wasn't expecting it to be in. Okay, I'm going to try something different because I'm still not finding the color that I want for these bees, and I don't know why. So I'm going to try the sand color after I get some white. My husband wants to start a bee colony. It wants to start raising, bees. And I had to say no because even though I'm, over my serious fear of them, I don't, the fear is not so gone that I could handle having that many living in our yard. I was outside one time when I heard this very, very loud buzzing, and I looked up, and there was a colony moving, a moving colony right above me. And let me just tell you, the neighbors probably heard me scream. Yeah, I ran very quickly into the house screaming like a little girl. Okay, let's do 30% cool gray. And then I'm going to do the white. And I'm going to put the white down because when I go to do the gelatos, I want to make sure that these wings, have some, what do you call it? Some resistance, something there so that if the gelatos gets on them, it doesn't, stain the wing. Can't think of the words that I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to wait until I get the background down before I add any shadowing that I might want to add on the bee. So we are going to go ahead and are we going to go ahead and do the background? I'm going to need to check because my clock says that I've been going for an hour. And if I was going for a half an hour before the clock, before this section, then we're at an hour and a half, and I am going to stop. And I'll do the background on another video because I'm going to outline, you know, and work on this honeycomb. I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm not going to do it exactly like a true honeycomb would be. I'm going to do a stylized version of a honeycomb. But yeah, you know what? I'm pretty sure that I'm probably going to stop this video here. So let's do that. Let's call this one a day. And I will come back and do the gelato and honeycomb background on the next video. So thank you for hanging in there with me. I hope you like what we did with the flowers. It's amazing what adding the green behind the white ones really does. I might come in and add some more shadows on these later. I'm not sure. I have to sit with it for a little while, but until I see you guys on the next video, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy coloring to everybody. Bye.